Hello, everyone. Welcome, and we hope you're having a really spectacular day today. And we hope it'll be better after our podcast. Who knows?
Yes.
So, this is all about spirituality and aging, which means finding that meaning and purpose in your life.
Mhm.
I'm Chris Jensen,
I'm Kathy Taylor.
and we're so happy you're here. So I want to talk a little bit about changing our paradigm in a lot of ways, from maybe success to significance. Uh,
Mm.
what used to be considered old and what's considered old today is very different. Recently, an AARP email came into my inbox offering tickets to the Rolling Stones concert.
This guy's got to
Wow.
be in the 80s.
Yeah. So I recall back in the day when Mick Jagger said, I won't be dancing around on the stage like this when I'm 50. Well, guess what? He's
He's
80
80.
and he's dancing around on the stage just like he always did. Why? Probably because it's meaningful to him and
Yeah.
he can do it,
Yeah.
you
And he
know?
can. Yeah.
Yeah. So yesterday, Kathy sent me a study. Yeah, by age way. It's the new age of aging. And it definitely inspired me because it talked about how our health is enabling us to have longevity. And the people interviewed in the study, which were all people 65 and over, said it was more important to do something of significance and meaningful now. People over 65, the boomers, we are notable for culture shifting, right? Way back. Attitudes, lifestyles, social gravitas. We've transformed each life stage we lived through.
Hmm.
So we're rewriting what our later years can look like.
Hmm.
So what do you want your next decade or decades to look like?
Good
Worth
question.
thinking about. Worth thinking about. Um, it's really worth taking a look at what's meaningful and significant to you now. According to the study, the difference between people over 60 now and the previous generation is that we're more active because we're in better health and we're more open-minded and curious.
Mm.
That's really important.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's really a good thing. Early in life, maybe you were building a career, success in a particular field was important to you, but now you're probably thinking about what can I do with the rest of my life
Mhm.
that means something to me, to my family, to humanity.
Absolutely.
I know that's how I feel. The study reported that most adults 65 and over say now is the best time in their life, right now, or in front of them. So they're not saying, oh, when I was, 10 years younger. No, now or what's to come. Happiness and freedom are soaring and anxiety is plummeting. They also
Wow.
said it's more important to feel useful than youthful.
Wow.
So
That-
I get a shiver just think
Yeah, that's powerful.
it's powerful stuff. And it made me think, what's meaningful to me? So I reflected and contemplated, and it was very clear that getting in touch with my true self, which in yoga we say is the divine within each of us, and
Mhm.
letting that express. Part of letting it express is is what am I doing to help others live more fully? That's right,
Mhm.
fully and freely and open to the spirit moving in them. What can I do to help uplift those around me, around humanity? Well, those are lofty goals. I can take one step at a time to get there. So I want to share a process that we can all take. So now, do you see now is the best time in your life? If not, let's take a look at what you can do to discover some meaning in your life. Contemplation, all that means is just take a moment, step back, and not be doing 20 other things, and just be open. And put this question out. What have I done in this past week that made me the happiest and most fulfilled?
I don't even have an answer for that. That's a good
Well, you'd have to contemplate it a little bit.
one. Okay.
If nothing,
Write that down.
right,
Okay.
if nothing comes up for you, then try the question, what in my life has made me, any time in my life, happiest and most fulfilled?
Okay.
And if there's still no answer, then I got another one. What would I ideally like to be doing with my time right now? What would be most meaningful? Just look at those things, take and I'm not suggesting that whatever comes to your mind right now is the answer. You want to spend a few minutes, you want to spend a little time just being quiet, putting the question out, and then don't think about what the answer could be. Just put the question out and then just get very still and quiet and try to relax and put your awareness in what we call the heart center, along the spine behind the heart or right here in the front, and just be open. Just be open. And if you're struggling to answer these questions, then try every day, at the end of the day, doing something in that yogis call self-study. Review your day from the time you got up. Just think back, okay, I got up this morning, I walked into the other room. And as you review, when you see something, review everything you did, something that you liked, stop and appreciate it. When you see something you didn't like, replace it in your mind here with actions or thoughts you'd rather have. Just visualize that. After a couple of weeks of doing this daily, try the question, what in my life has made me feel happiest and most fulfilled? You should get some glimpses of what's truly meaningful to you. But that
Wow.
self-study practice is so very important. Ramakrishnananda, the guru and yoga master who started our yoga center, he does this and has done it every day of his life since he started yoga.
What?
Yep. And it's an incredible practice to do. So I really suggest you will learn so much, and not only about who you are, but how your inner self, how your soul, what really wants to express, what's going to be most really significant and meaningful for you.
Wow. I can't wait to try it.
Good. Good. So the next step is, what do we do after we see what's meaningful to us? How do we take steps in that direction? Now, it can seem daunting and overwhelming. So we take baby steps. We put some time and energy in that direction. An example, maybe you're concerned about the welfare of animals. Maybe it would be meaningful for you to help them in some way. Maybe you do something small like share a post from an animal shelter. Or maybe you volunteer at a shelter for a couple of hours. It doesn't have to be a huge step. It's just a start. And what I've been doing is I've been taking a little more time for meditation each day after looking at this. A little more conscious time in the service that I do for the yoga center, family, friends, whatever it is I do. Just be a little more conscious, a little more focused, a little bit extra time in meditation. Doesn't have to be hours, a few more minutes. Don't limit yourself. Okay, this is the other thing. So take the time, take the baby steps. It may change. You may find that what you started out thinking was most meaningful for you as you start doing some of this, it isn't. Then you go back and you keep contemplating, and what really is there is going to come up if you commit yourself to doing this process, to doing it. And the big thing I want to say is do not limit yourself. Another thing in the study said, and I loved this, contrary to what many, given our society's obsession with youth, in the entrepreneurial tech industries in particular, some of our most innovative thinkers are the ones with the greatest experience. Just look at the average age of Nobel physics laureates, arguably some of our smartest minds on the planet. They're not
Sure.
kids. They're not
That's right.
because of old ideas about youth, the outdated view of retirement, which was sitting on a porch in a rocking chair. You don't need that. Don't limit yourself in any way. It's not like that now. Better health, includes both mental, emotional, and physical health. They've opened the door to greater opportunities. And I think these opportunities might have been there for a previous generation if they had been more open to it and hadn't stuck in such stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
And continuing to work. If you want to work, you can retire if you want to retire. If you want to keep working, you can do that. There's flex hours, you can start a business. There's all kinds of things you can do. You can do things remotely. So I really thought it would be good to just do a little contemplation right at the end here. And just take a moment. Let's take a couple of really deep diaphragmatic breaths to get kind of centered and calm. And then close your eyes. And just try to, thoughts come up, just try to shed them, don't fight with them. Just try to let them go. You can focus on your breathing, that'll be helpful. And then just ask, what opportunities are next for me? How does my true self want to express? Let the question go. Don't try to answer it. Go back to the deep breathing. And just have the attitude of, I'm open to receiving an answer. Okay. So go ahead, you can open your eyes, bring your attention. You could spend much more time on a question like that. I didn't want to spend too much time on it here, but it'll open a door. It's going to open a door. You'll start to know what's really for you, what it really is, not somebody else or not what you think it should be now. Don't limit yourself.
It sounds so good, but I gotta say something, just in case I'm having this experience, in case anybody else listening has had this reaction to what Chris is saying, I'm gonna say it. I've just gone through a period where knowing what I want was really difficult, and I couldn't get answers for it. So if somebody's experiencing that when they get to this place of, putting the question out, what are my next steps? What's available for me? And they're not feeling like they're receiving that answer in the heart, what would you recommend they do?
Well, first of all, don't ask what you want.
Okay.
Just ask, what does my true self want? How does my true self want to express?
Okay.
Just like that. Or, what will genuinely make me happy and feel fulfilled? But really, how does my true self express? And let it go.
Okay.
Don't expect an answer.
Okay.
Just let it go. And
So just be okay if you don't get an answer to
yeah,
it.
because generally an answer won't come right away, if you're just starting this process. But you might be walking down the street 3 days from now and all of a sudden something hits you.
Sure.
That's
Okay.
how my first experience in yoga was. I mean, I put out a thought or a question and absolutely nothing came. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of my day, I just felt this rush of energy, and there it was. Just let it go. The idea is that we're not expecting. It's a good point you brought up. Have no expectation. Don't expect an answer. Don't expect anything. You're doing
Yeah.
it just to allow an expression to occur. So you just put it out and try to let it go.
Yeah. So listeners, what she's describing is, or pointing to, is that what happens with somebody like me in that process is I try to get my mind involved. I
Mhm.
try to, let it direct what's happening and logic my way through and think. And I have to just let go of that. That's one of my challenges.
Yeah, it's a challenge for most people. We need to just let go. Like I said, don't try to answer the question.
Right.
Don't try to think of the possibilities.
Right.
Just put it out there and let it go.
Yep.
See what
Don't think.
happens.
Okay.
See what happens. I
I
hope
got it.
I hope it helps. I hope, I think we all want to find that meaning and significance, and I think we can.
Yes, like what I was thinking when you were talking was, even if you're over 65 and I don't know, maybe you've got knee surgery and you're, rehabbing or you're sitting on the couch, you can do this work.
You can do this work. You
Yes,
can do
you
this
can
work
absolutely.
in any position you want. Yeah,
Exactly. It doesn't matter
yeah,
what's going on with your body. You can
yeah,
figure out what it is that is yours next to do and what would make you
right.
feel fulfilled and what your
That's
purpose is, even with your bum knee or
that's
your,
exactly
whatever's
right.
going on.
That is
So yeah,
exactly
it's
right.
important to remember.
Yeah. So play around with it. If you have any problems with it, let us know. We're here to try and be helpful. We're on the path too. We know we've had the stumbling blocks as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then some.
And then some, and then some. See you soon.
Thank you for coming. See ya.